Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You may or may not know I am studying for my Salesforce Platform Developer 1 certification currently. I am on week 3, exactly 3 weeks of studying for it. I kind of talked about it in the Platform Developer 1 certification video that came out a little bit ago. In today's video, I'm just kind of talking about my experience studying so far and then some of the difficulties I'm having. But if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm putting out new Salesforce content each week. And let's jump into the video. So this is more of a kind of a vlog style type of video where I'm just going to talk about how my studying's going, the wins, the losses, and kind of where I'm at. One, this is great because it's just being transparent with you all about how things are going. No sugarcoating. You know, I don't have the certification yet, and I'm not going to talk about, oh, it was so easy to study. This is kind of a real life update of where I'm at with studying for this certification. And this also serves as a great way to keep me accountable to earning this certification. Posting this online for the world to see. So I definitely want to be able to complete it and hold me accountable to what my goals are. But let's take a look at, what I've been studying so far. So the main way I've been studying so far is through Focus on Force. So I purchased kind of the program back on the 22nd of October. And my goal tentatively is kind of March 4th. I'm not going to take the exam if I'm not ready by then, but if I'm ready before then, I obviously will go ahead and, make an attempt at it. But today is November 12th, which is 3 weeks since I purchased the exam. Now, the section I started on is the developer fundamental sections, which is the next to smallest section. They're actually all equal here. There's 4 main sections, but there's 5 topics underneath developer fundamentals with Focus on Force. And then we click on these. These are the different sections. The 5th section is a knowledge check, which I actually kind of like. It's great for studying through there. I did take my first practice exam for this section and I scored a 62, which is not awesome, but it's not the worst I've ever scored on some of these practice exams for the first time. Typically, with Focus on Force, I like to score in at least in the 80s before I move on to another section. And that's kind of the line in the sand for me with my other 3 certs is once I can score 80% or higher on a regular basis in Focus on Force, I generally can move forward. But one part of this is really, challenging for me is, in here looking at the Apex classes and different things. Now, transparently, I have not coded with Java before. I have with C++, so it makes it a little bit easier to understand. But my coding language, kind of what I've worked with before, is SQL and C++, but it isn't a ton. So I'm having to do a lot of coding, like knowledge learning, and I've done some Python too, but not at the level that I probably need to. But looking just at the objects, going back up here, let me get to the tokens. Yeah, memorization of the tokens, because Focus on Force definitely asks a lot of questions around this type of stuff. What the tokens are, what it provides. This provides methods for describing the S objects, provides methods for describing the field. So looking at get S object type, and then, use the access to the describe result. And then goes into talking about the different tokens here. And then just being able to look at the Apex code itself and kind of understand, what's going on. The other section that's been difficult is the schema namespace, classes, and methods. Just trying to memorize these and get familiar with them. So like to describe the S object result, field result, tab set result, or tab results, for example. Like these two. Like this class provides methods for obtaining metadata information about a standard or custom app, but the described tab results is a class that provides methods for obtaining metadata information about a tab in a standard or custom app. So what's confusing is like tab set result, right, is for gaining information about standard or custom apps, but then tab result is about gaining information about a tab in a standard or custom app. So it's just learning the nuances, and there's a lot of different, namespace classes. As you can see, I'm just kind of scrolling through, like get name, get label. These are a little easier for me to remember, but they do trip me up with my studying. with my studying though, one thing I've noticed is that when I study for my platform app builder certification, there's actually a lot of crossover, especially for all the declarative uses that you can use in Salesforce. So part of these sections here, like given a scenario, identify common use cases for declarative versus programming customizations, including governor limits and formula fills and rollup summaries. From studying for that app builder certification, it's actually made that section, I can breeze through that, which is great. But the thing is, they're not asking a ton of questions about that, so it makes the practice exams a little more difficult. So kind of my plan for the next 3-4 weeks is to continue busting it on this section here till I can score at least to 80% on the practice exams. I actually plan this week to do some Apex coding to get kind of more familiar just with the terminology, the classes, and get used to that, because I'm going to need to know that, obviously. The other thing I'm doing is I am doing trailheads along the way too. I'm doing the trail mix that Salesforce provides. It is a great tool, and I really enjoy it, but in my opinion, to pass the platform developer certification, you're going to need more than just the trail mix, or even focus on force standing alone. So yeah, so far so good. It is, sometimes it can be demotivating, especially when you start out and it's just not quite clicking. But it's kind of nice is the past few days, things have started really sticking in my brain now. So it has gotten a little easier. I plan on making another kind of vlog style update like this in the next probably 3 weeks. Or whenever, I kind of can blaze through this first section and give you all an update. But if you like this video, leave it a like. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.